Hey there everyone, welcome back to Dan Cave and welcome to October 2024 on the bench. So it's now October, really into the back end of the year. Telford's around the corner, not literally, figuratively. Telford's less than a month away because my review is a little bit late again. We're already kind of stretched into October. Normally I try and get these out the start of the month as a bit of a retrospective of the previous month. Run a little bit late this month, mainly because, as you can imagine, I was on holidays again. So yeah, it's at a week away, the start of October, which kind of delayed everything. But there we go. So such things happen. So so October 2024 on the bench. So going to cover the usual things, which will be built, bought, in progress, general news, and so I'm going to actually start with the general news this time. Yeah, start with the general news. So, as I said, this is run a little bit late because I was away on holiday. So, uh, while I was away, I visited the Brooklands Museum, and I would thoroughly recommend it for anyone who's got an interest in cars, aviation. Uh, Quite a small museum in, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. But I've got a lot of exhibits which you can get nicely up close to, whether it's cars, aircraft, motorbikes. They've got a fantastic array of things to kind of look at and visit and see, spread over a number of buildings. So it's actually quite a big site for what is basically a group of people that just got together a while back to try and bring back some of the history of the site. They've done really, really well and have put a very good museum together. So yeah, well worth a visit. Also, while I was away on holiday, we were down the southeast coast, basically down in Kent. I did also manage to visit the Wonder Works by Hornby in their Margate location, where they've got a little bit of a museum. It's £5 entry to have a wander around. They've got a shop. It's well worth a look. They've got a little bit of kind of history of kind of all the brands that they've got, whether it's Airfix, Hornby Trains, Scalextric, all the things that now come under that umbrella organisation. So a little bit of a mix of things, but well worth a look round. And there's an Airfix, Humbrol Hornby shop. Sorry, so there's a Hornby shop there which got all their various brands, and you can buy everything from their large scale Porsche 917 from Poacher, Poker, however you want to call them, which is now one of the brands that comes under them, all the way through to starter sets for Scalextric, starter sets for Airfix, you name it, they've got it. So while I was away on holiday, there was a few things which kind of nicely segued into this hobby and have added a little bit of content to the intro. So while I was away, there was other things going on as well. So the keen-eyed amongst you may have spotted that Scale Fanatics is now an IPMS club. We're a virtual club, but we are an official IPMS club. So that's brilliant news. That of course means there's a recognition of the efforts of the group, etc. But it also means we'll be able to attend various model shows and display our works as a club. So included in that list of shows is, of course, Telford. So because this is a recent development and very short, late, kind of towards the date for Telford, where we're going to have one table, basically. So it's going to be 1 6 foot by 4 table, I think is the size. So we've got limited display space this year. We will endeavour to have more next year, but for this year, we are limited in space. That space is mainly going to get used by the original kind of founding members of the club. But for those other members, for the other members we kind of see regularly. We've also asked them to bring a few kits, but we're not kind of asking everyone that wants to display something. Not this year anyway. We just don't have the space, and we're not yet fully organised for all that. So that'll be a that'll be a rolling plan into next year. There'll also be opportunities to maybe display at other shows as well, which may come up in the future, but in the short term, we're just got to get Telford out of the way. But we will have a space and we will be there. So that is absolutely brilliant news. So yeah, we're really pleased with that. So other things going to spin off and mention from that is, of course, Scale Fanatics. We're an online club. You'll find us over on Facebook. We also do have a regular Zoom hangout, which anyone in Scale Fanatics is free to join. All you need is a PC, a tablet, microphone, camera. Camera's optional, really. Obviously, prefer to see people, and we'd prefer to see what they're working on, because it is kind of an online kind of modeling community. But if you just want to join in and have a chat, feel free. So the link is posted regularly over on Scale Fanatics on Facebook. So come over and join the Facebook group. Say hello, and we'll get you sorted if you want to join the Zoom hangout. So that's the intro. That's run for much longer than I expected it to, but obviously covering a little bit of kind of news topics that were important to share. So we're going to go back to our regular broadcasting now and back into the kind of normal sections. So in the what's been built section, this month has been nothing. I finished nothing. I am very, very close to finishing one thing, but it's not quite completely finished. But I'll talk a little bit about that in the in progress. And the other in progress stuff is nowhere near finished. So there we go, nothing. So what's been bought? Well, what's been bought is, when I was in Margate, I did pick up a couple of Airfix kits. So I bought the C47, which had a knockdown price on it when I was there. And I bought the 48 scale Chipmunk because it comes in Irish Aircore colours. Which I thought it's about time I picked one up. So that's it. That's the what's been bought. I did pick up a few die-cast. Picked up a couple of Hot Wheels. Got some of the Le Mans collection die-cast cars as well. It's one of those kind of monthly, you get a new issue every month with a new 43rd scale die-cast. So I picked up a couple of those to see what they're like. But aside from that, other general modelling stuff, there's been no purchases. So that means it's time for in progress. So in progress. So in the in progress, there's two main areas. I suppose let's start with the one that's closest to the end, which is the Airfix 35th scale Ferret Scout car. So this I picked up last year at Telford. It was on offer. It was brand new out, so it was relatively cheap. And in the back of my mind, I remembered that the Irish Army actually used some of these in their Congo operations back in the 50s, 60s, I think. Let me just go check that. Yes, 60s. Seamless transition, I hope. So there was a number of those were basically loaned to the Irish Army. They basically came straight from, I think, the British Army in their original paint scheme, from what I can gather, just handed over for temporary use by the Irish Army. So I wanted to do one of those versions. There was no specific decals available. Photos were really limited, so I've ended up just basically doing it. We'll say a little bit of a what-if scheme, but yeah. So could have gone with that. That kit built up absolutely fine. I was kind of tempted to do some interior. Wasn't sure how much I wanted to leave the hatches open. So I kind of did some of the interior, but mainly just because it'll be a little bit visible with hatches partially open, etc. Which is the way I've approached it. Built it all up, primed it in UMP grey. Then it was Revell bronze green. I think 36165. I think was the Revell paint color I used. A couple of coats of that, and then kind of sealed all that in. A couple of decals. I used the kit registration number, which is not correct, I know. I do have a correct registration number from one of the photos I found, I didn't manage to print registration for it. I could have done, but I didn't. So as most of it was kind of what if and fictional, the one picture, apart from the reg number, there was no other markings clearly visible in the picture, or at least recognizable in the picture. So and then I've just used a couple of the UN flags that were in the kit decals just to denote it was part of the UN operation, but they were left in green as opposed to being painted white like a lot of the other ones were. It's obviously progressed on through the weathering. That's basically 99% done. So mainly weathered using Ammo MIG, kind of mud, dust effects, various different types of mud, mud splashes, dry earth, dry step, thick soil, light dust pigment, and then try to blend it together with some of the light dust wash as well. That's got to have another clear coat just to kind of tie all that together and seal everything in to be a matte clear coat. And then I want to work on a little bit of a base for it. So the kit itself is, apart from a clear coat, is 100% finished. We'll credit that next month. The base will be a little bit longer term, and I think exactly what I want to do for the base. Couple of figures, some kind of scene. Wouldn't necessarily call it a diorama, more of a vignette. So that's the first thing in progress. So the other kit in progress is the Tamiya Renault 12 scale Renault RE20. So that has made some further progress. So I think last month, I think the engine was completely installed. Again, let me do a quick check. So once again, seamless transition, and with my quick checking skills, so the engine was done last month. So since then, the engine has been installed. Then I progressed on to kind of working on the gearbox and oil cooler at the rear. Probably not as many photos as I probably should have taken of that work, but it's been kind of jumping in and out of this build while I was a bit distracted by the Ferret. But hopefully I'm going to get back to a much more stronger focus on the Renault for the next few weeks and months. But yeah, so that gearbox and oil cooler, mixture of UMP black, X18 semi-gloss black, lots of Alclad metallics. The top of the oil tank is Alclad high shine aluminium over UMP gloss black primer. That's gone down very, very well. So yeah, that's at that stage. Once I've finished doing this, I'll be back to working on that. Once I've finished doing this video, I mean, I'll go back to working on that, and I think I'll work on the rear hubs, discs and suspension, which will get most of the rear end finished in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, so that's the state of the RE20, and that's it for in progress. I know the Ford Escort was kind of in progress a while back. I've kind of left that to the side for the moment. I'll get back to that. I want to try and get some focus on the RE20 complete, get that completed, because that's been hanging around for a bit. So there we go. That's it. So we covered nothing built, we covered the not much bought, we covered the not much in progress, but we did cover a little bit of my holiday. And the most important news, Scale Fanatics is now an IPMS club branch, virtual branch. That's it, virtual branch. So yeah, come and check us out on Facebook, join the club, and come and say hello. So thank you all for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Please give the video a like. Feel free to leave a comment down below. But thank you all for sticking with my ramblings once again. And I'll see you all very, very soon. So bye for now.